Hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're doing a first impressions and review of the brand new Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. I'm trying it out for the first time today, and this is the look that I came up with. So I really hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you do down in the comments below, and please give it a big thumbs up as well and subscribe. And if you want to see my first impressions review and tutorial using the new Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, then keep watching. Okay, so this is the outer packaging of the palette, and then the actual palette comes in some bubble wrap, and then this is the actual palette itself. I really like the packaging, to be honest. I love like more cardboardy packaging instead of plastic packaging for eyeshadow palettes. I don't know why. The only thing that I don't really like about it is the fact that it comes in the bubble wrap and then it's inside like the cardboard carton, because I'm one of these people that like to keep their eyeshadow palettes in like their cardboard sleeves and things like that. So once you've taken the bubble wrap off, the palette no longer fits inside here because the box is now way too big for the palette, which I don't really like. I wish that it came in the box and then the box was in bubble wrap, if you get what I mean, because I can't keep this in anything now, and it's white as well, and I want to keep it in as best condition as I can, which is why I always leave my palettes in sleeves. Other than that, the packaging is really nice. I just wish I had something like to keep it in now, to keep it nice and clean. So I know this palette has been released for like a few months now, but it's only just last week been released in the UK from Beauty Bay. I was actually going to pick it up from the Morphe website as soon as it was released, until I looked at the shipping costs on the Morphe website, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. I got mine from Beauty Bay for £37, I think it was, which I don't think is bad for 35 shades, especially if they're going to be good quality, which we'll find out in a second. My shopping experience for this palette was okay. I did struggle to check out like a lot of other people did on that day. I think I definitely was one of the lucky ones. It didn't run as smoothly as I think maybe it should. Yeah, at the moment now it is sold out, but I think they are restocking in October. So if I do see that they have restocked it, I will leave a link for the palette down in the description bar below. So this is what the palette looks like inside, and to be honest, I think the shade range is absolutely insane. I think Jaclyn has done a really amazing job in picking out the different shades for this palette. I love that there are more brighter tones, and there are some more cool browns, and then more warm shades and shimmery shades and gold and berry tones and copper shades and everything. I think she has done a really amazing job. You can create literally so many looks with this, it's incredible. The one thing that I didn't get was the slip with all the shade names, because all the shades in here are named, but I didn't get that sheet, so I think I'm going to try and find it off the internet, just print it off and maybe put it inside so I know which shades I'm using. I won't be able to share the names today, but I will find out which ones I used, and I will leave them as well down in the description box. But that's the only annoying thing really, because I did think that that was going to come with it, but it didn't. I haven't swatched any of them yet, so I think that we should just dip into a couple just to see. I'm going to start with this really orangey brown. I really like the shade of that one, and they seem to be very pigmented. Which else shall I pick? This is a nice like cranberry shade, really nice. There is a black as well, which looks very black, which is amazing. And these more colourful tones as well, that's the purple, looks amazing. And the blue as well looks insane. I'm so excited. If I get a chance, I will swatch every shade and put that on my blog as well. So once that is done, when I have time, I'll also leave that down in the description bar as well. And I've seen pictures of this as well. It definitely looks a lot better in real life. I don't think that pictures do the shades justice, especially the more shimmery toned ones. They look really shimmery. So yeah, I definitely think in real life it looks a lot better than in pictures. For my eyeshadow look today, I'm going to go out of my comfort zone and try and use maybe that blue or something, because I know we are going up to fall season now. I've already started doing fall makeup looks, and I think I can do so many with this. So I think I'm going to try and do something a little bit more colourful and a bit more different, because I think that my channel is going to have a lot of like more warmer toned makeup looks for over autumn and winter. So yeah, I think I might try maybe that blue. So I have got a eyeshadow base on already. I've just used some of the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer and then just set that with some translucent powder. I am also going to do Jaclyn's trick of just putting some loose powder just by the corner of my eye, because I have already done the rest of my makeup, so I don't really want any fallout, and I won't be able to sharpen up my line after because I've already got my makeup on. So I'm just going to put... So let's get started. I'm going to use this shade right here. Obviously I don't know the name, but I will leave it down in the description bar. So it's just this third one in, and there was a little bit of kick up then, but I don't mind if an eyeshadow has a little bit of fallout. And I'm just blending this into my crease as a first transition shade. I'm also bringing it down far into this inner corner as well, because we are attempting a cut crease today. And this shade is really nice. It's just quite a neutral light transition shade. You could use a tone like this with pretty much any colour, which is really nice. I am personally not that familiar with Morphe eyeshadows. I've never used one on myself before, so I don't know what the difference is in the texture and the feel of these. I couldn't say because I'm not sure, but that one felt really nice. The next one that I'm going to use is this one here. It's the one next to like the yellowy shade, and there isn't any fallout with this eyeshadow. Just taking this exactly the same over the top of that first eyeshadow. And they seem to be really pigmented. These are quite light in tone, so they're not going to be really in your face, of course, but so far so good. And then I'm going to switch to this shade, which is the very middle shade in the palette, and I'm tapping this on the outer corner and then into my crease. This one is really nice and rich in tone. And then I'm going to go in with the brush that we used first, just go over the top of that line. They are applying very nicely and blending really nice over the top of each other as well, which is very promising. And then I'm going to go into the shade next to it, which is a little bit more of like a wine tone. You literally only have to like dab into the shadow. It picks up a lot of product and you don't need that much because they are super pigmented. And to be honest, I wouldn't expect anything less from Jaclyn. I have a lot of confidence in her. She is the first YouTuber that I ever started watching, along with Tanya Burr. They are the only two that I ever started watching, and I have got a lot of faith in Jaclyn. I think she's very passionate and I think she knows exactly what she's talking about when it comes to how she wants the formula and things like that of products. So I wouldn't expect this palette to not be good. Okay, I'm going to cut my crease now. I'm just using the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, which I used earlier. Okay, so that brush wasn't very good. I did have to switch it, but we have cut the crease now, and you guys don't understand how much I just want to put a gold or like a cranberry shade there, but I'm not. I'm going to use this really bright blue there. I think this is not matte, it's more of like a satin finish is what I want to call it. We'll see when we apply it anyway. I am going to use a flat brush, and I am going to spray my brush with Fix Plus, because with more of like a shimmery toned eyeshadow, I would always use a wet brush on my finger to apply it, because I just find that they apply best that way. And it is very pigmented. And that looks absolutely insane. Such a nice wearable blue as well. So to help blend that out now, I'm going to use the very middle shade, which we used a little bit earlier. I'm just using the same brush because I'm lazy. And I'm just taking a small amount and then I'm just wiggling it over the top just to help them come together. And then over the top of that I'm using that very darkest one that we've used, which is next to that one. Okay, now I'm going to be brave and dust all of this off. That looks so good. I think I should wear more brighter colours more often. I'm just always too scared to wear them. Okay, I'm just going to line my top and lower waterlines. I'm just using Costa Riche from MAC. For the lower lash line, I'm going to start with this one. This is like a really rich reddish orange. And I'm just going to run this all along my lash line. And then on a really like fine fluffy brush, I'm going to use that very first shade that we used at the very start, just underneath that, just to blend it out so it's not such a harsh line. I am so impressed with this palette, like very impressed. To highlight my inner corners, I think I'm going to use this more like silvery toned shade, and I'm just going to pack this on. I think I want the inner corner to be really bright. Okay, I've just wet my brush a little bit just to make it stand out a little bit more, and I am so happy with that. It looks so nice. I'm going to just apply a little bit of liner, then mascara and lashes. I'm only applying liner just to hide the band of my lashes. And this is the finished look, and I absolutely love it. I love the pop of blue. I think it looks so nice. So my first impressions of this palette, I absolutely love it. From the shades that I've used so far, all of them were very pigmented and really blendable as well. One thing that I did notice is even though they are super pigmented, there's not hardly as much fallout as there is in other palettes that I've got, which are on sort of the same amount of pigment. So that's really nice. They felt really creamy. I think the shimmery ones definitely will work better with your finger applied like that or with a wet brush. But with these more warmer tones, I literally just dabbed my brush in and then patted it on my eye, and there was so much pigment, it was incredible. Even though there are quite a lot of like more warmer tones in cranberries and like more wine shades, which I'm definitely more drawn to, there are still like more grey shades and greens, and there are more cooler tones there and more brighter colours as well, which I think are really wearable. In some palettes they always put like a bright shade which you would never wear in there, whereas the more brighter shades in here are definitely very wearable. I'll just quickly do a few swatches of a few more. So that is one. These are just so pigmented. And that's the black. And they are literally like staining my fingers between the different swatches. That is just a few, they're so pigmented. They just feel so nice and creamy as well. They just look insane. I think this is a really nice palette. It's definitely worth the money in my eyes because there are 35 shades and there are so many different looks you can create with it as well. Like, it's not just 35 shades of all warm tones. You can create so many different looks, which is really nice. I think a lot of thought has gone into this. The only thing for me is that it doesn't fit back in that sleeve because the sleeve is now too big and it's already like really dirty, which makes me really sad. And I've only used it that once, so that's the only downside for me. So that completes my first impressions and review of the new Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did down in the comments below, and please give it a big thumbs up as well and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!